Okay, hello and welcome to this little course. I'm so excited about this and I hope you are too. The goal of this course, as you saw in the name, is creating a life that you are excited to wake up to. So if by the end of this course I have helped you head that direction, I will just feel like this has been such a success. So with all that being said, thank you so much for joining me. The things that I'm going to be sharing in these videos are just things that have been life-changing to myself and to our family. And I just feel so incredibly blessed and so incredibly honored that I have the time that I'm actually able to sit down and even film these videos while my little boys are sleeping. Right now my daughters are playing out in their tree fort, and the only way I would have the time to do something like this at the stage of life I'm in is because of the things that I'm going to be sharing in this course. So I'm so excited about this. So to get started, my name's Sarah. I'm 27. I have a 6-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 1-year-old. I homeschool the two oldest. We have a fairly full, blessed schedule. My husband is a fireman on his days off. He also runs a lumber business from home and he does a lot of deliveries, and so we're able to join him in that a lot, which is super fun. And then we live here in a small little farmhouse with several acres, and we're starting to build a little bit of a homestead here. And on the side I have a little flower business that I do in the summer, and I have a little roadside stand that I just sell some local things and handmade things in. So that is kind of what my life looks like. I just feel so incredibly blessed and I'm just so thankful. Now I want to jump into this course. Who is this course for? This course is specifically designed for 2 types of women. The first is a mom who just feels completely burned out, completely overwhelmed, completely at the end of her rope. She literally feels like she is doing everything every single day except for the things she dreamed of doing before having kids, and she just feels exhausted. And I'm speaking to this woman from a place of me being there myself. I have had my kids really close together. We have done a lot of remodeling. We've just had a lot in our life so far that I'm so thankful for, but I have definitely been in those seasons where I just feel completely exhausted. And so the things that I'm going to be sharing in here are coming from real life experience. The other woman, though, that this is for is actually the woman who feels almost the complete opposite. She is literally like, I am so bored. Like, is there anything more to motherhood than picking up my kids' blocks and cooking the macaroni and cheese? And like, I don't feel like I'm growing as a person. I don't feel like I'm being challenged. And I just feel like I've lost myself in just boredom and scrolling social media and comparing myself to other women. And I just miss the days when I had something measurable that I could see success in. So I've also been there. And sometimes the craziest thing about motherhood is you can experience both of those in the same day. So I'm going to be speaking to both of those types of women. And I would say that this is coming from a Christian perspective. And so my beliefs around motherhood and marriage and all those things are really centered around the Bible. But that being said, whether you are a Christian or not, you are going to get a ton out of this. I know it's going to be super helpful. So whether you are the overwhelmed, completely fatigued, completely burned out mother, or the really bored one, or a mixture of both depending on the day, my goal is that by the end of this series, I'll have given you enough tools and enough ideas and enough resources that you will actually be able to be creating and living a life that you're just so excited to wake up to every day, that you want to wake up early in order to accomplish, that you want to get a head start on your day just because you're so excited about what life holds for you. So with that being said, I want to kind of walk you through how this course is going to be laid out. This first phase, which is going to be the first set of videos, is going to be focused on really simplifying your life. And this might sound boring. This might sound like, oh, really? But the very first thing that we're going to be talking about is decluttering your home and your life, because I really, truly, genuinely believe that this is the foundation upon which everything else is built on. And so if you can clear away the clutter, if you can get rid of the things that are just holding you back in your day from making any progress or even having the clarity you need to know what progress should be made, then that's really where I want to start. And so we're going to be starting at that level, decluttering. And we're going to be addressing 3 different areas that I feel like are probably the 3 biggest pain points for most homemakers in their homes. And so we're going to be talking about decluttering and just cleaning in general, like making your house more simple, making your house work for you rather than you constantly having to be working for it. Laundry, I'm just going to be sharing my laundry systems. I'm going to be throwing a ton of stuff at you, and I hope it won't be overwhelming. I hope it'll just give you some ideas and you can just try a couple of them. But I'm going to be sharing my laundry system, which, as a mom that has 4 little kids and a husband who does a lot of like outdoor dirty work, as well as myself doing a lot of outside work, we do about a load of laundry a day and a load or 2 extra on Saturday, and I don't usually do laundry on Sunday, and that keeps us caught up on the laundry. And so I'm going to be sharing my laundry hacks with you, and then also dishes and just kitchen stuff, because I know that dishes are another huge pain point. So after we move past that first phase of just kind of simplifying your life, we're going to step into routines, habits, and systems. And this is where your life can completely change. Now, I firmly believe that there are 2 types of pain. There is either the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And I know for myself, I want the pain of discipline. I don't want to look back on my life and regret the way that I spent my time. I don't want to look back on my life and be like, I wasted so much time focused on things that didn't matter. And so these systems and these routines and these habits that I'm going to be recommending and just encouraging you to maybe try out 1 or 2 of, maybe in your biggest pain point areas, being like, you know what, dinner is really hard every day. Try out my methods, see if it makes things easier. My house is always a mess. Try out my methods, see if it gives you back more time. And so we're going to be going through a ton of those. Maybe it will feel a little overwhelming. I hope it won't. I'm just hoping that you can grab onto a couple at a time. And I'm hoping this course will have enough in it that you can keep coming back to this again and again. Because like I said, I don't know if I'll be posting like more in the future, how that will look after I'm done with this series. But I hope this is the type of thing you can revisit again and again and just keep getting things out of it until your life is going in a direction you really want it to go, where you're just excited to get out of bed in the morning. So systems, habits, routines, and then we're going to be into phase 3, because my goal is that if you've implemented some of these things, you're all of a sudden going to be getting back a ton of time in your day that you're going to be like, whoa, I'm rested and I don't have anything that's like falling apart around me. Like, what do I do with this time now? So you're going to all of a sudden be able to relate to the bored mom, which is really crazy if you were the overwhelmed mom before, but that's okay because we're not going to stay there. Phase 3 is all going to be focused around dreaming and building goals and building a vision for your life and knowing where you want to aim for. And it's going to be all based around your priority structure, which you're going to create. And I'm going to share with you what mine is, because it is such a compass for me deciding if something's worth my time or not. We're going to be talking about some phone guidelines so that you make sure that now that you have this time, you're actually filling it up with productive things rather than just scrolling social media. I'm going to be asking you a ton of questions. What would your ideal day look like? When you're 85, sitting on your front porch swing, what do you want to be able to say with your husband that you accomplished? What is the type of person that you would respect? We're going to ask a whole bunch of questions, and my hope is that if you are in the phase right now where you don't even know what an ideal day would look like you haven't had the time to think about that. You haven't been able to pull yourself out of the fog long enough from completely drowning in toys and dishes and laundry to even know what you want your life to look like a couple years down the road. And so you haven't been able to have that time to think. My hope is that I'm giving you the time that you're able to think. And then I'm also inviting people in that are like, actually, I have all these things I've been dreaming. Like, I've been dreaming about studying nutrition so I can help my family. I've been dreaming about like this little homestead my husband and I want to create, but I just don't have the time to do it. I would love to, homeschool my kids. Whatever it is, whether you have a ton of dreams already that you just haven't been able to fulfill, or whether you haven't had any dreams at all in a super long time and you need some help kind of stirring up those feelings again and really looking at like your gifts and your talents and what it is that God's placed in your heart and seeing the incredible value of what you are doing as a mom. Like, I can't say this enough. the longer I'm a mother, the longer I am married, I am like, oh my goodness, I could never have ever imagined the fulfillment I could find in this. And it comes from the desire to want to excel at it. Like, you want to do your best. You want to give it your all. You have one life. Like, do it well. And I totally believe that by following the biblical layout for what God tells a woman is important for her to prioritize, especially like her husband and her family, and trying to do that well, that is where women flourish the most, I truly believe, in like a godly, loving family environment. And so I want to help you excel at that so that you can experience the fulfillment that comes from that. And you know, it's so funny because I hear so often people say, like, motherhood is such a sacrifice. It's laying your life down. And they say it in such a miserable way. And I really think when you just fully embrace, like, this is the stage of life you're in, this is the responsibility God has given you, this is the gift He's entrusting to you, then you realize that by laying your life down, you literally have a life that you could have never imagined. Like, that's completely how I feel. And so while I agree, motherhood is sacrifice, it's hard, it's challenging, it's the hardest thing I've ever done. I have found the Bible says that he who loses his life will find it. And I just completely feel that way in motherhood, in marriage, in the life God has given me. Like, yes, when you accept the season that you're in as this God-given, beautiful gift He has given you, and you accept it as that, and then you're like, I want to do my very best to steward this, to be responsible with this, to be able to stand before God one day and have Him say, well done, my good and faithful servant. Like, that is my dream and my goal with my husband and my kids. I want God to be able to say that of me. Then it just makes you want to excel. And so I'm hoping that with these things I'm going to share with you throughout this course, that it puts this hunger in you to want to do this well. And so I want this course to be both filled with grace and filled with a lot of grit. My goal of this course is that by the end of it, you will be living a life that you are excited to wake up to every day. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you again soon.